Hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise the name of thy King. All right, today in this video, I've got the Book of Enoch. Trying to finish it with you guys, and we're getting there. This is going to be part 9 to the Book of Enoch. Part 9. There's not too much. We'll probably another 3 more parts, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But this is part 9 to the Book of Enoch, and this one is by R.H. Charles. R.H. Charles. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the book. The final translation of Enoch. And it came to pass after this that his name during his lifetime was raised aloft to that Son of Man and to the Lord of spirits from among those who dwell on the earth. And he was raised aloft on the chariots of the Spirit, and his name vanished among them. And from that day I was no longer numbered amongst them. And he set me between the 2 winds, between the north and the west, where the angels took the cords to measure for me the place for the elect and righteous. And there I saw the first fathers and the righteous who from the beginning dwell in that place. 2 earlier visions of Enoch. And it came to pass after this that my spirit was translated, and it extended into the heavens, and I saw the Holy Son of God, and they were stepping on flames of fire. Their garments were white, and their raiment, and their faces shone like snow. And I saw 2 streams of fire, and the light of that fire shone like HYACINTH. And I fell on my face before the Lord of spirits. And the angel Michael, one of the archangels, seized me by my right hand, and lifted me up, and led me forth into all the secrets. And he showed me all the secrets of righteousness. And he showed me all the secrets of the ends of the heaven, and all the chambers of all the stars and all the luminaries, whence they proceed before the face of the holy ones. And he translated my spirit into the heaven of heavens. And I saw there, as it were, a structure built of crystals, and between those crystals tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw the girdle which girt that house of fire, and on its 4 sides were streams full of living fire, and they girt that house. And round about were SERAPHIN, CHERUBIN, and OPHANNIN. And these are they who sleep not, and guard the throne of his glory. And I saw angels who could not be counted, 1,000 thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000, encircling that house. And Michael, and RAPHAEL, and Gabriel, and PHANUEL, and the holy angels who are above the heavens, go in and out of that house. And they came forth from that house. And Michael, and Gabriel, and RAPHAEL, and PHANUEL, and many holy angels without number. And with them the head of days, his head white and pure as wool, and his raiment indescribable. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured, and I cried with a loud voice, with the spirit of power, and blessed and glorified and extolled. And these blessings which went forth out of my mouth were well pleasing before that head of days. And that head of days came with Michael and Gabriel, RAPHAEL, and PHANUEL, thousands and 10,000s of angels without number, Lost passage wherein the Son of Man was described as accompanying the head of days. And Enoch asked one of the angels concerning the Son of Man as to who he was. And he, the angel, came to me and greeted me with his voice and said unto me, This is the Son of Man who is born unto righteousness. Hi. And righteousness abides over him. And the righteousness of the head of days forsakes him not. And he said unto me, He proclaims unto thee peace in the name of the world to come. For from hence has proceeded peace since the creation of the world. And so shall it be unto thee forever and forever and ever. And all shall walk in his ways, since righteousness never forsakes him. With him will be their dwelling places, and with him their heritage. And they shall not be separated from him forever and ever and ever. And so there shall be length of days with that Son of Man. And the righteous shall have peace in an upright way. In the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. The book of the courses of the heavenly luminaries. The book of the courses of the luminaries of the heaven, the relations of each according to their classes, their domain and their seasons, according to their names and places of origin, and according to their months, which Uriel, the holy angel, who was with me, who is their guide, showed me, and he showed me all their laws exactly as they are, and how it is with regard to all the years of the world, and unto eternity, till the new creation is accomplished, with which dureth till eternity. And this is the first law of the luminaries. The luminary, the sun, has its rising in the eastern portals of the heaven, and its setting in the western portals of the heaven. And I saw 6 portals in which the sun rises, and 6 portals in which the sun sets. And the moon rises and sets in these portals. And the leaders of the stars, and those whom they led, 6 in the east and 6 in the west, and all following each other in a accurately corresponding order. Also many windows to the right and left of these portals. And first there goes forth the great luminary named the sun, and his circumference is like the circumference of the heaven. And he is quite filled with illuminating and heating fire. The chariot on which he ascends, the wind drives, and the sun goes down from the heaven and returns through the north in order to reach the east, and is so guided that he comes to the appropriate that portal and shines in the face of the heaven. In this way he rises in the first month in the great portal, which is the fourth, those 6 portals in the east. And in that 4th portal from which the sun rises in the first month are 12 window openings, from which proceed a flame when they are opened in their season. When the sun rises in the heaven, he comes forth through that 4th portal 30 mornings in succession, and sets according accurately in the 4th portal in the west of the heaven. And during this period the day becomes daily longer, and the night nightly shorter, to the 13th morning. On that day the day is longer than the night by a 9th part, and the day amount exactly to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts. And the sun rises from the 4th portal and sets in the 4th, and returns to the 5th portal of the east 30 mornings, and rises from it, and sets in the 5th portal. And then the day becomes longer by 2 parts, and and amounts to 11 parts, and the night becomes shorter and amounts to 7 parts. And it returns to the east and enters into the sixth portal and rises and sets in the sixth portal 1 and 30 mornings on account of its sign. On that day, the day becomes longer than the night, and the day becomes double the night, and the day becomes 12 parts, and the night is shortened and becomes 6 parts, and the sun mounts up to make the day shorter and the night longer. And the sun returns to the east and enters into the sixth portal, and rises from it and sets 30 mornings. And when 30 mornings are accomplished, the day decreases by exactly 1 part and becomes 11 parts, and the night 7. And the sun goes forth from the sixth portal in the west and goes to the east and rises in the fifth portal for 30 mornings and sets in the west again in the fifth western portal. On that day, the day decreases by 2 parts and amounts to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts. And the sun goes forth from that fifth portal and sets in the fifth portal of the west and rises in the fourth portal for 1 and 30 mornings on account of its sign and sets in the west. On that day, the day of equalized with the night and becomes of equal length. And the night amounts to 9 parts, and the day to 9 parts. And the sun rises from that portal and sets in the west and returns to the east and rises 30 mornings in the third portal and sets in the west in the third portal. And on that day, the night becomes longer than the day, and night becomes longer than night, and day shorter than day till the 13th morning, and the night amounts exactly to 10 parts, and the day to 8 parts. And the sun rises from that third portal and sets in the third portal in the west and returns to the east, and for 30 mornings rises in the second portal in the east, and in like manner sets in the second portal in the west of the heaven. And on that day, that night amounts to 11 parts, and the day to 7 parts. And the sun rises on that day from that second portal and sets in the west in the second portal, and returns to the east into the first portal for 1 and 30 mornings, and sets in the first portal in the west of the heaven. And on that day, that the night becomes longer and amounts to the double of the day, and the night amounts exactly to 12 parts, and the day to 6. And the sun has therewith traversed the divisions of his orbit and turns again on those divisions of his orbit and enters that portal 30 mornings and sets also in the west opposite to it. And on that night has the night decreased in length by a 9th part, and the night has become 11 parts, and the day 7 parts. And the sun has returned and entered into the second portal in the east and returns on those his divisions of his orbit for 30 mornings, rising and setting. And on that day, the night decreases in length, and the night amounts to 10 parts, and the day to 8. And on that day, the sun rises from that portal and sets in the west, and returns to the east, and rises in the third portal for 1 and 30 mornings, and sets in the west of the heaven. On that day, the night decreases and amounts to 9 parts, and the day to 9 parts, and the night is equal to the day. And the year is exactly as to its day 364. And the length of the day and of the night, and the shortness of the day and of the night arise through the course of the sun. These distinctions are made, they are separated. So it comes that its course becomes daily longer, and its course nightly shorter. And this is the law and the course of the sun, and his return as often as he returns 60 times and rises. the great luminary which is named the sun forever and ever. And that which thus rises is the great luminary, and is so named according to its appearance, according as the Lord commanded. As he rises, so he sets and decreases not, and rests not, but runs day and night, and his light is sevenfold brighter than that of the moon. But as regards size, they are both equal, the moon and its phases. And after this law, I saw another law dealing with the smaller luminary, which is named the moon. And her circumference is like the circumference of the heaven, and her chariot is which she rides is driven by the wind, and light is given to her in definite measure. And her rising and setting changes every month. And her days are like the days of the sun. When her light is uniform, full, it amounts to the seventh part of the light of the sun. And thus she rises. In her first phase in the east comes forth on the 13th morning. And on that day she becomes visible and constitutes for you the first phase of the moon on the 13th day, together with the sun in the portal where the sun rises. And the one half of her goes forth by a seventh part, and her whole circumference is empty, without light, with the exception of 1/7 part of it, and the 14th part of her light. And when she receives 1/7 part of the half of her light amounts to 1/7 part and the half thereof. And she sets with the sun, and when the sun rises, the moon rises with him, and receives the half of one part of the light. And in that night, in the beginning of her morning, in the commencement of the lunar day, the moon sets with the sun, and is invisible that night with the 14th parts in the half of one of them. And she rises on that day with exactly a seventh part, and comes forth and recedes from the rising of the sun. And her remaining days she becomes bright in the remaining 13 parts. The lunar year. And I saw another course, a law for her, and how, according to that law, she performs her monthly revolution. And all these, Uriel, the holy angel, who is the leader of them all, showed to me and their positions, and I wrote down their positions as he showed them to me. And I wrote down their months as they were, and the appearance of their lights till 15 days were accomplished. In single seventh parts, she accomplishes all her light in the east, and in single seventh parts accomplishes all her darkness in the west. And in certain months she alters her settings, and in certain months she pursues her own peculiar course. In 2 months the moon sets with the sun in those two middle portals, the third and the fourth. She goes forth for 7 days, and turns about and returns again through the portal where the sun rises, and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes from the sun, and in 8 days enters the sixth portal, from which the sun goes forth. And when the sun goes forth from the fourth portal, she goes forth 7 days, until she goes forth from the fifth, and turns back again in 7 days into the fourth portal, and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes and enters into the first portal in 8 days. And she returns again in 7 days into the fourth portal, from which the sun goes forth. Thus I saw their position, how the moons rose and the sun set in those days. And in 5 years are added together, the sun has an overplus of 30 days, and all the days which occur to it for one of those 5 years. when they are full, amount to 364 days. And the overplus of the sun and the stars amount to 6 days. In 5 years, 6 days every year comes to 30 days. And the moon falls behind the sun and stars to the number of 30 days. And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly, so that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto eternity, but complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days. In 3 years, there are 1,092 days, and in 5 years, 1,820 days. So that in 8 years, there are 2,912 days. For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1,062 days, and in 5 years, she falls 50 days behind, to the sum of 1,770. There is to be added 1,062 days. And in 5 years, there are 1,770 days. So that for the moon, the days in 8 years amount to 2,832 days. For in 8 years, she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. All the days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. And the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations and the stations of the sun, which rise from the portals through which the sun, rises and sets 30 days. And the leaders of the heads of the thousands who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars have also to do with the 4 intercalary days, being inseparable from their office according to the reckoning of the year. And these render service on the 4 days which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. And owing to them, men go wrong therein. For those luminaries truly render service on the world stations, one in the first portal, one in the third portal of the heaven, one in the fourth portal, and one in the sixth portal. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. For the signs and the times and the years and the days of the angel Uriel showed to me, whom the Lord of glory has set forever over all the luminaries of the heaven, in the heaven and in the world, that they should rule on the face of the heaven and be seen on the earth, and be leaders for the day and the night. The sun, moon, and stars, and all the ministering creatures which made the revolution in all the chariots of heaven. In like manner, 12 doors Uriel showed me, open in the circumference of the sun's chariot in the heaven, through which the rays of the sun break forth, and from them is warmth diffused over the earth, when they are opened at their appointed season, and for the winds and the spirits of the dew, when they are opened, standing open in the heavens at the ends. As for the 12 portals in the heaven at the ends of the earth, out of which go forth the sun, moon, and stars, and all the works of heaven, in the east and in the west. There are many windows open to the left and right of them, and one window at its appointed season produces warmth corresponding as these do, to those days from which the stars come forth according as he has commanded them, and wherein they set corresponding to their number. And I saw chariots in the heaven, running in the world, above these portals, in which revolve the stars that never set, and one is larger than all the rest, and it is that makes its course through the entire world. The 12 winds and their portals. And at the end of the earth I saw 12 portals open to all the quarters of the heaven, from which the winds go forth and blow over the earth. 3 of them are open on the face, the east of the heavens, and 3 in the west, and 3 on the right, the south of the heaven, and 3 on the left, the north. And the 3 first are those of the east, and 3 are of the north, and 3 after those on the left of the south, and 3 of the west. Through 4 of these come winds of blessing and prosperity, and from those 8 come hurtful winds. When they are sent, they bring destruction on all the earth, and on the water upon it, and on all who dwell thereon, and on everything which is in the water, and on the land. And the first wind from those portals, called the east wind, comes forth through the first portal, which is in the east, inclining towards the south. From it come forth desolation, drought, heat, and destruction. And through the second portal in the middle comes what is fitting, and from it there came rain and fruitfulness, and prosperity and dew. And through the third portal, which lies toward the north, come cold and drought. And after these come forth the south winds through 3 portals. Through the first portal of them, inclining to the east, comes forth a hot wind. And through the middle portal next to it, there come forth fragrant smells, and dew, and rain, and prosperity, and health. And through the third portal lying to the west come forth dew and rain, locust and desolation. And after these, the north winds from the 7th portal in the east come dew and rain, locust and desolation. And from the middle portal come in a direct direction, health and rain and dew and prosperity. And through the third portal in the west come cloud and hoar frost, and snow and rain, and dew and locusts. And after these 4 are the west winds. Through the first portal adjoining the north come forth dew and hoar frost, and cold, and snow and frost. And from the middle portal come forth dew and rain, and prosperity and blessing. And through the last portal, which adjoins the south, comes forth drought and desolation, and burning and destruction. And the 12 portals of the 4 quarters of the heaven are therewith completed in all their laws, in all their plagues, and all their benefactions have I sown to thee, my son, Methuselah. All right, so there you guys have it. That is part 9 to the Book of Enoch. Part 9 to the Book of Enoch. You'll just have to stay tuned, because we are getting closer, you guys. We are getting closer to the end of this book. Okay? Got some more parts to go through and read. If you miss any of them, you can go back to the previous videos of the Book of Enoch, because this is part 9, so there are many other parts to it, and there are a few more parts to come. So stay tuned for more of the Book of Enoch. We are getting to the end very, very slowly, but we're getting there. So stay tuned, and God bless each and every one of you.